Okay, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Basta good day, depende yon kung anong oras niya biniview tong presentation na ito. Ayan, so hello sa inyo. So this assumes that you are done with the integration by algebraic substitution and you're familiar already with the formulas for integration, the basic ones, and those involving the trigonometric functions, exponential, logarithmic, as well as yung mga may inverse trigonometric functions, tas mangilan-ngilan din yung hyperbolic trigonometric functions or hyperbolic functions. So dito tayo sa second technique of integration, which is integration by parts. Yung first one was integration by algebraic substitution. Okay, so let's go. Ayan, so parang this will somehow help you answer the question pagka nagsasolve tayo ng integral or nag-evaluate ng integral. Kunwari, you're confused, which method should I use? Is just the basic formula ba? Magsa-substitution ba or mag-i-integration by parts? So, dadagdag na ngayon to sa mga options natin. Okay? So, share ko lang po sa inyo yung ating maikling riddle para or parang poem para mas maalala nyo yung ating integration by parts. No? So, roses are red, violets are blue, derivative of UV is UdV plus VdU. Ayan, so parang nire-recall po natin kasi dito yung product rule for differentiation. Roses are red, violets are blue, derivative of UV is UdV plus VdU. Ano yung essence nito sa integration by parts? So, tingnan po natin. Ayan, so bali, we have the function, kunwari as a product of two functions, mini functions, u and v. Tapos, pag kinuha natin yun using the product rule, getting the derivative of y, meron tayong y prime sa kaliwa. Tapos, we have this notation on the right, product rule. So, ang gagawin natin, we copy the first factor and then differentiate the second factor, get their product. Plus, ang susunod na product naman, we copy the second factor and then differentiate the first factor. Okay, parang salisihan sila. Okay? So, we have a sum of two products. Isang kinopy, isang dinifferentiate. Isang kinopy, isang dinifferentiate. Ayan. So, take note of the other notation. Diba? We have the u prime as du. Tapos yung v prime, yun yung dv natin. So, if we're getting the product's derivative, we have this. Okay? Pag kinuha na natin sila ng integral, getting the integral of both sides, ayan, since they are just the same, pwede nating sabihin, ito ay magka-cancel out kasi these are just reverse processes of each other. Diba? Integral of the derivative, babalik ka lang dun sa original na function. Tapos pag dito ka naman, you have this notation, diba? Integral of u dv. We can actually split this into two integrals kasi this is separated by the plus. So the first one is u dv and the second one is actually v du. So it's equal to u dv, integral of u dv plus the integral of v du. Okay, so lalabas, pagka sinimplify, ito lilipat natin sa kabila. Yan, ito this one, this term here. Tapos ititira natin si integral of u dv na nagsosolo, that will be equal to uv together with this one na magiging negative. So minus integral of v du. Ayan. So ito po yung nagiging formula natin using integration by parts. So if we intend to use integration by parts, we assume the given integral is of this form. Tapos gagawin natin siyang ganitong form para maging integrable siya. Okay? Yan, normally ginagamit natin to pagka hindi na kaya ng mga basic formulas natin or ng mga integration using algebraic substitution. Okay? So, ito po yung ating formula, integral of u dv equals uv minus integral of v du. Let's see kung paano siya gamitin using this illustrative example. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Kunwari, meron tayong integral of x, ln x. Alam naman natin na yung ln x, nagiging answer natin kapag nag-integrate tayo. Pero hindi natin siya normally nakikita within an integration process, no? So, katulad nito, nasa loob siya ng ating integral, no? So, it's a part of our integrand. Ang tawag natin dito sa expression na to, integrand. So, bali lalabas niyan, kailangan may ma-identify tayo as the u and the dv. Okay? Ayan. So, ito po yan. Normally, ang ina-identify natin na ganito, siya yung integrable or differentiable. Okay? Kasi meron kang u na i-differentiate tapos yung part na kabila dapat ma-integrate natin. So, si ln x normally dinidifferentiate natin. So, siya yung gagawin nating u. Okay? So, pag kinuha mong u yung isa, that means the rest of the function becomes your dv. Okay? Yung natira, automatic becomes your dv. Okay? So, this and this one, naka-combo siya, naka-package, or naka-bundle, yung naka-encircled expressions na yon, this will form our dv. Okay? So, ito yung ating dv. Okay, so ibig sabihin ang u is equal to ln x. Derivative of that, kasunod ng pagkuha mo ng u kasi kailangan mo yung du. So differentiating both sides, parang yung ginawa natin sa algebraic substitution. Pag may u ka, kasunod nun yung du tapos may dx ka kasi yung variable mo naman sa kabilang side, no? So derivative ng ln of x is 1 over x, kung naalala. Differentiating both sides. Okay? Tapos dito naman, yung dv na na-recognize natin is x dx. We apply the integration on both sides. Okay, so magiging v na lang to, integral of dv, parang may understood na 1 na coefficient. So attach lang si variable v. That becomes our v. Tapos ito applying the simple power rule or the plus 1 rule. Understood exponent is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Lagay lang din siya sa baba. So that's x squared over 2. Okay? So sa integration by parts, let's be guided by this formula. So that will be uv, this product, minus the integral of b du. So uv will be the product of ln x and this fraction. Okay? Minus, so ayun na po yun. Sinulat na po natin siya dito sa kabilang side. Minus what? This one, the product of v, integral of b du. So integral ng expression na to together with that. Okay? That's why the dx here is very important kasi lalagyan mo ng integration symbol tong dalawang to, yung product nila. We don't just combine them unlike yung uv kanina. Okay? So, meron tayong minus integral, di ba? Ayun, so minus integral. But naging x over 2 na lang kasi the x squared and the x here can be simplified. Okay, so x squared over x is just x, pero yung 2 remains on the denominator. And the dx na nanggaling, dito siya nanggaling. Okay, so ayun po. Actually, yung 1/2 pwede nating ilabas. Okay, remember we still have to integrate this portion. We don't have a problem on the first term, so we just have to copy that. Tapos yung second term natin, ilabas yung constant and then integrate the rest. Okay, this becomes again x squared over 2. So that will be ln x, quantity x squared over 2 minus 1/2. Pero times x squared over 2, kaya minus x squared over 4 plus c. This becomes the final answer to this given integral. Ayan, so na-integrate natin siya using this process. Meron tayong u dv to begin with, tapos syempre, yung u dinidifferentiate and yung dv part ini-integrate. Okay, you can take a picture of this illustrative example for your reference, or kung gusto nyo po ay i-download nyo yung ating mga slides. Yan. Now, if you have this one, medyo nako-confuse tayo. Ano ba yung ipa-prioritize natin na U? Okay? So, remember this acronym, LEAT. Yan, parang late, pero merong I sa gitna. No? So, what do we mean by LEAT? Logarithm. So, yung mga logs muna, ang priority natin. Then, yung mga inverse trigonometric functions, priority natin silang i-let U kasi normally, we don't integrate them. They are differentiable. So, mas maganda kung i-differentiate natin sila. Okay? And then, third priority mo, yung algebraic functions, mga polynomial, linear functions, di ba? Mga rational functions na merong mga integral lang na exponent, yung mga variable. And then, fourth priority, yung trigonometric. And then, last one will be exponential functions. Medyo last tong mga to kasi integrable naman sila. Kaya, compared to the logs and inverse, mas madali silang Compared to this two, mas madali na silang ma-integrate. Okay? Kaya mas priority mong U, yung mas mahirap i-integrate. Kasi si U i-differentiate mo, si DV yung i-integrate mo. Okay? Ayan, so liate, logarithms, inverse, algebraic, trigonometric, exponential. Don't be liate. Okay. Let's have our example 1. Ayan, so x sine 2x, priority natin ay for our U, tsaka dv. Ayan, parang ito yung template natin. So, ayan po kasi ang ating kakalabasan. So, our priority for our U is what? So, sa liate, si x. Algebraic, but before the trigo function. Okay? So, ibig sabihin itong si sine 2x, dx, kung ito yung pinick up mong U, the rest of the function becomes your dv. Okay? So, anyway, the derivative of this is just 1. Pero don't forget, meron kang du dx to, no? Those are very important. Tapos for the other side naman, automatic, the dv part will be the rest of the function that we did not choose, no, to be our u. Yan, parang pinapakyaw mo. Ito yung u, tapos dito sa dv. Unlike sa algebraic substitution, matipid tayo, no? Pag nag-let u tayo, minsan yung base lang, o di kaya yung angle mo lang, di ba? Or yung exponent lang. Ito, papakyawin mo lahat, no? So, yung u, yung isang part, tapos the rest of the parts, kaya integration by parts, no? Ito yung nagiging dv natin, okay? So, we'll be integrating from here, gamit tayo ng shortcut natin sa algebraic substitution. That will be negative cosine of that supposedly u, tapos derivative of that goes on the denominator. Okay? Negative cosine 2x over 2. Take note na we're reserving the plus c on the latter part, for the original integral. Okay? So sabi sa formula, it's uv, so we have to multiply this. Yan. uv will be what? Ano yung uv natin? It's the product of these two. Yan, lagay natin siya dito sa baba. Negative x, inayos lang natin. Negative x cosine 2x all over 2. Okay? Tapos yung second naman natin na term, ano yung VDU? Parang tandaan natin yung greater than symbol, pag ganon, and then pag ganon. Basta you're using this template. Okay? So VDU will be this one. So we have, pang re-replace natin dito, diba? Negative cosine 2x over 2 dx. Ayun. So may dx yun yung contribution ng du. Okay, so pwede nating labas yung negative 1/2. So magkakaroon tayo ng positive 1/2 na coefficient na. This will be now positive 1/2. Okay. Ayan. Tapos integrate na lang natin si cosine 2x, which is integrable naman, no? So integral ng cosine 2x, di ba? Sine 2x all over 2. Kasi meron tayong supposedly u doon na 2. 2x. Kaya derivative niya constant na 2 goes on the denominator. So negative x cosine 2x over 2 plus 1/2 sine 2x over 2 for the integral of cosine 2x. Ayun. Diba? Yung derivative ng supposedly u mo goes on the denominator. Okay, so ayun, that's our final answer. Simplify lang na lang natin. That will be negative x cosine 2x over 2 plus sine 2x all over 4 plus c. Yan. So this becomes our final answer to the given integral. Okay? Ayan. You might want to take a picture of this para po may idea tayo para sa mga susunod na examples. Now, let's go to example 2. Again, ayun yung template natin. Ang priority natin dito sa dalawang to ay si 2x. Ayan. So, pipiliin natin, si 2x for our u. So, derivative niya is 2. Ang kagandahan kapag pinili natin yung mga ganitong algebraic functions for u, pababa yung ating power, yung ating degree, di ba? Kasi pa-1 tayo if we're differentiating eh. Di ba? So, in the case of this one, di ba, ang understood degree niya is 1. Kaya yung constant, pinipick up mo lang constant coefficient for the derivative if you remember. Tapos dito din maganda naman, no? Pag ito yung kinuha mong u, the rest becomes the dv. U dv. Okay? So ayun po 'yun. Okay? So, integrating both sides of this, kaya may v ka nang naka-ready, integral of that one is just e to the x. Okay? So, ayun po, greater than symbol. Tandaan po. So, para dito sa ating formula, uv is this product. So, that becomes 2x e to the x. Okay? Minus v du. So, product naman niya. But that will be 2e to the x dx. Okay, walang labis, walang kulang. Labas natin si 2 sa kabila. Okay. So, magiging 2x e to the x minus 2. Pero ang integral ng e to the x, di ba? E to the x lang din. So, 2x e to the x minus 2e to the x plus c. Yan. Actually, you notice 2e to the x is a common factor. So, pwede mong ilabas yung 2e to the x pa. 2e to the x, tapos quantity x minus 1 plus c. That's another version of your answer. Okay, so ayun po ang ating example 2. Ayun, sana po nakakasunod. Now, let's have example 3. Ayan, ito yung integral ng ln x na nagsusulo lang, no? So, we have again u dv. Ayan, so ito yung ating template. Ayan, parang yan yung template natin. Tandaan po yan. Parang it's like filling in the blanks na yan na po yung pattern. Siyempre, magbabari na lang kapag naiba yung variable na given. Instead of, kunwari, this is t, t as in tango. This will just become dt. Yan. Ganun lang naman yung magiging variation. Okay? Anyway, so, ano yung mangyayari dito? Anong priority nga natin sa u? Again, it's ln of x. Tapos, derivative of that is 1 over x. O yun, fill in the blanks lang. So, since siya yung pinick up natin na u, ang natira na lang sa atin for the dv is the dx. Okay? So, gawin natin yun. Ito yung u. This becomes your dv. Yan, wala na po tayong choice. Kandi, yun natira po. Automatic becomes the dv. Okay? So, integrating both sides, integral of this, parang inalis lang yung letter d. So, ang matitira sa kabila, yan, hulaan nyo kung ano yung matitira. You can pause the video kung gusto nyo manghula ng mas matagal. Pero, fast forward natin, the correct answer is x. Parang naalis lang yung small d, di ba? If you integrate both sides. Okay. Ayan. So, paano na yun? Ano na yung kasunod? We have this formula. So, uv, the product of this will be x, ln x. Minus the integral of this product. Yan. So, integral of 1 dx. Naging 1 na lang siya kasi nag-cancel yung x natin. Yehey! So, ayun, we can just simply attach the variable here pag in-integrate. So, that will be x ln x minus x plus c. That becomes our final answer to this integral. So, ang integral pala ng ln x dx is this x ln x minus x plus c. We can actually include this in our formula for the integral of ln. Okay? Kung gagawin nating u to, integral of ln u du, mas gusto nating generic, is u ln u minus u plus c. Okay? So, take note of this magic formula. You can take a screenshot of this if you like. Ayan. Kasama na siya sa pwede natin magamit na formula kasi na-derive na natin siya. Parang yung integral ng tangent x tsaka integral ng cotangent x last time. Okay? So now for this one, actually pwede natin itong i-integrate using algebraic substitution. Now let's do naman the integration by parts. No? Again, this is integrable using algebraic substitution. Pwede naman din. Okay? But let's try integrating this using integration by parts. Okay? May ganun eh, no? So, we first rewrite our integrand to this form. Yan, yung inakyat lang yung si denominator, making the exponent negative. Okay? Tapos, ang ating magiging u ay si 2x ba o ito? Okay? Take note, pinapakyaw natin, no? So, ayan, again. Ito po yung ating integral. Lagay natin si 2x doon. Kasi pagka siya yung pinili mong u, yan, ito kasi pagka ito yung pinili mong u, remember, sasama mo yung exponent. mag-chain rule pa tayo. That makes it complicated. Unlike this one, if you make this your u, the derivative will be a lot simpler, and that is just the coefficient 2. So ang dv natin, kung ito yung pinili mong u, we don't have a choice but to get all this, itong buo na to na hindi natin napili, including the dx. Importante kasama yung dx kasi otherwise, pag in-integrate mo yan, hindi pwede kasi walang differential. So, dapat kasama yung dx. So, integrating both sides, -3 plus 1 is -2. So, that will be x minus 5 raised to -2 over -2. Derivative naman nito is just 1. Kaya, that's very safe. Ayan, so doon na tayo sa ating IBP or integration by parts. UV is the product of this. Magka-cancel yung 2. Okay, pero ito pwede nating ibaba, no? So that will be negative x times quantity x minus 5 raised to -2. Or this can be written as negative x over quantity x minus 5 quantity squared. Ayan. Tapos minus BDU naman. So ito naman pag ganun. Again, we can cancel the 2's. Yan. Tapos minus and then that's negative. Magiging positive tayo eventually. Ayan. Nag-cancel yung 2, no? Pinakita mo nang nag-cancel yung 2. Pero remember their product is negative. Okay? So negative, negative. Positive na po tayo. Okay. Ayan. Pero negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. So, negative 1 over negative 1. So, magbabalik ka sa minus. Okay. Ayan. Magiging minus ulit. Tapos, parang minus 1 over x minus 5. Okay. Pwedeng final answer ito, pero mas simpler. Sulat ko na lang po. The simpler version of this answer is, di ba yung walang negative power, yung negative x over x minus 5 quantity squared. Tapos minus 1 over x minus 5 plus c. Yan, this is the simpler version of our answer. Okay, so ayun po. You can always pause the video if you want to digest or absorb what we've been discussing. Now, let's have example 5. Sa example 5 natin, susulat muna natin siya as, di ba, ayan pa rin yung ating walang kamatayang template. So, looks like ito pa rin yung u, tapos ito yung magiging dv, no? So, if that is our x to the 5th, 5x to the 4th yung ating derivative. Pero pagdating sa dv natin, ayan siya, x cubed plus 1 to the 1/2 dx. So, mag-i-integration by algebraic substitution tayo dito. That's why we're assuming in the first place, sa first slide, nung ginread ko kayo that this presentation assumes you know algebraic substitution already. So, ito, pag nilet u natin to, ang magiging du natin involves 3x squared. Naku, magkakaroon ka ng 3x squared dito. Okay? Ayan, so, mahihirapan tayo ngayon yan kasi magkakaroon ka ng mas complex na na tawag dito na form kasi 'di ba yung dx mo meron kang du over 3x squared. Hindi mo siya ma-integrate. So ibig sabihin kailangan itong portion na to na magkaroon ng x squared or 3x squared kung mas maganda, no? So, ibig sabihin, kung kailangan niya ng x squared, uutang siya dito kay x to the 5th. Okay? Kailangan niya magkaroon ng x squared again. Kasi imagine natin, again. Ganyan siya, di ba? Kunwari, ile-let u mo to. Si x cubed plus 1. Yung du niya is 3x squared dx. So, yung dx is du over 3x squared. Hindi naman to constant na pwede nating ilabas sa integral. So, this will become u to the 1/2 tapos du over 3x squared. We don't have a way of getting rid of this kasi wala tayong x squared na expression sa loob ng ating integral. Okay? So, ayun. Kaya yun yung necessity. Okay lang si 3. Si x squared yung may problema. Kaya si x squared yung kailangan nating utangin kay x to the fifth. Okay? So, ayun po. Utang tayo kay x to the fifth. Ayan yung ating template. X to the fifth becomes x cubed and x squared. Okay? X cubed times x squared is x to the fifth. Okay? So that way, kung ito yung pipiliin mong u, ito yung ating dv, medyo solve na tayo dito sa part na mag-u tayo na to, tapos ito yung ating sa algebraic substitution. Okay? So, ibig sabihin pala nito, pwedeng kahit nag-integration by parts ka, pwede kang magkaroon ng integration by algebraic substitution along the way. Okay? So, ayun po. Kunin natin. Ayan yung ating expression. Okay? X cubed yung ating u. 3x squared yung ating derivative. So, ang dv natin, kung ito yung pinili mong u, the rest of the parts becomes the dv. Kaya integration by parts. Integral of u dv. Ayan. Diba? So, x squared, x cubed plus 1 to the 1/2 dx. Ayan. Paano na yung integral niya? So, if you integrate both sides, ayan yung ginawa natin kanina. Assuming this is our u. Yan. Iba yung u dito sa context ng algebraic substitution. Sana po wag malito doon sa variable. Hindi na ako gumamit ng ibang variable kasi ilalagay naman natin yung answer right away dito. 3x squared dx. Okay. Ayan. So, we can just divide both sides by 3. So, du over 3 is x squared dx. So, this will become, itong si x squared, let me use a different color of pen. Itong si x squared tsaka si dx, i-bundle natin. X squared dx is du over 3. Or 1/3 du. Labas na lang natin si 1/3. Tapos du. Tapos ito naman, let us choose a different color. Yan. This portion is our u to the 1/2. Yan. So, u to the 1/2, yan. Kaya integrable now. 1/2 plus 1 is 3/2. So, bali lalabas. Ano ba yung i-erase natin sa 3/2? It's x cubed plus 1. So, x cubed plus 1 will be raised to the 3/2. Okay. Ayan. So, x cubed plus 1 raised to the 3/2 over 3/2 or times 2/3. So, parang pag minultiply mo to by 2/3, di ba? Parang you have 1/3 times 2/3 x cubed plus 1 to the 3/2. Yan. That's why the coefficient becomes 2/9. Okay. So, ayun po ang mangyayari pagka nag-integration tayo by parts. Ano na susunod na step natin? Ayan. So, we're assuming this is of the form integral of u dv. Ayan. u dv. Ayan yung by parts natin. So, uv. Ano yung uv? Ayan. Parang ultraviolet rays lang, no? Ayun siya. So, walang magka-cancel. So, we have 2x cubed, quantity x cubed plus 1, quantity to the 3/2 all over 9, minus the integral of this. Magka-cancel yung 3 and 9. Yan, magka-cancel. Tapos, di magiging 3 na lang to. We can actually write the 2/3 outside the integral, no? Ayan. Labas natin si 2/3. Tapos, anong mangyayari? Ayun na naman, ano? Same form. May x squared ka, tapos may x cubed plus 1 to the 3/2. So, same, ano? Ito pa rin yung ililet u mo. Tapos, ang du mo, ganun pa rin. The du over 3 will be x squared dx. Okay? So, ayan. So, bali lalabas. This will be minus 2/3. Ayan. Tapos, the x squared dx is du over 3. Du over 3 to. Tapos, this part is, bundle natin siya, yung du over 3. Tapos, this part is u to the 3/2. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so let's do it on the next page. Gawa po tayo. Doon po tayo sa next whiteboard natin. Yan, focus tayo dito. Algebraic substitution tayo, katulad kanina. Ayan po, no? Diba sa algebraic substitution, it's just the base that we let equal to u. Okay? So, ayan po ang kinalabasan. So, magiging ganito siya. This is u to the 3 halves. This is du over 3. Okay. Pagkatapos, apply na natin, no? We can take the 1/3 outside. Labas natin yung 1/3. Tapos, simple power rule na lang tayo or the plus 1 rule. Yan, lalabas. Meron tayo. Nasaan na yung ating papalabasin? 1/3. Tapos, integral ng u to the 3 halves. Magiging u to the 5 halves over 5 halves or times 2/5. 2/5 times 1/3 is 2 over 15. So, balik tayo sa original variable. 2 over 15 x cubed plus 1 raised to the 5 halves plus c. Yan. Usually, nagiging ano naman siya eh. Kung ano yung nasa DV mo, tapos kung nagre-record din yung integral na yon, yung ating integral. Okay, so balikan natin yung original integral. Kailangan natin siya, di ba? So, we have this. Parang ayan yung dalawang whiteboard natin. Ito yung ating naka-box part. Ito yung ginamitan natin ng integration by algebraic substitution. This part is equal to this. Okay? Ayan. So, copy-paste lang natin yung first term. Ito. Saan nanggaling yan? It's coming from the first term of the original integral. This one. Yan yung UV na original. Minus 2/3 multiplied by 2 over 15. That will be 4 over 45. No? Tapos x cubed plus 1 raised to the 5 halves plus c. And ayan, pwede na po yung final answer. So this becomes our final answer to the original integral. Okay. Ayan. So absorb, absorb. Now let's have our example 6. Ito na po yung example 6 natin. Yan. Kanina nangutang tayo, no? Kinailangan natin kasi nakita natin na pag nag-algebraic substitution tayo, kailangan kasi we have a way of canceling the extra variable. Pag nag-u tayo, dapat lahat in terms of u. So, yung mga extra x's, di ba? Kaya nga sabi natin, ang tagline natin, ayoko na kay x, gusto ko na sa u. Ayan, so balik tayo sa ating template using integration by parts or IBP. This will be x cubed. This is 3x squared. Pag nag-dv tayo, that is e to the x squared. Kaya lang, again, pag nag-let u tayo, ito yung ile-let u. We can imagine this as our u. Diba? Pag algebraic substitution, du is 2x dx. So, du over 2 is x dx. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan mo magkaroon ka ng x somewhere. So, ibig sabihin, uutang ka naman ng x dito kay x cube. Yan. So, puntahan natin ulit yung ating template. Tapos, we will be rewriting our integral as x squared. Tapos, pagtatabihin natin yung x with the ex squared. Okay? So, ito yung ating u, si x squared. Ay, sorry. Yan, this is our u. Sabi, integral of u dv. This is our dv. Okay. So, ang ating derivative for x squared ay 2x. dv natin ay ito. So, if we are to apply the integration, di ba, balikan natin yung kanina. Di ba, ang u natin is the exponent. Tapos, du is 2x dx. Yan, du over 2 is x dx. Yan, that's why if we are to integrate this, it's of the form 1/2 integral of e to the u du. Okay. Ayun yung e to the u and the x dx is the 1/2 du. Okay, inaabsorb. Ayan, so this is now integrable. This is e to the u already, pero ang u natin is x squared. So ayun, bumalik na tayo sa original variable over 2. Babalikan mo kagad yung original variable kasi ito ay ano na, you don't stick to the u's and du's here kasi dito yung focus natin na u and du. Okay? So ayun, balikan natin yung ating IBP or integration by parts. So integral of u dv is equal to this. uv product. Okay? Product of x squared in e to the x squared over 2. Minus this product. Magka-cancel yung ating 2. Okay? So that will just be x e to the x squared dx. Ayan. O di ba nag-record din yung ating integral. So siya din ulit yun, no? Di ba? Eh alam na natin pagka in-integrate natin siya, ito yung lalabas na sagot. Okay? So that means ay yung ang ating answer for the integral is e to the x squared over 2 plus c. Okay? Ayan. So that becomes our final answer. Pwede rin pong pagsamahin. Okay? Bali x squared e to the x squared minus e to the x squared all over 2 plus c. Okay. Ayan po ang ating example 6. Now, let's have our example 7. Yan. So, example 7 tayo. Yan. This time, yung ln of x naka-square. Okay? Paano kaya yan? Tingnan natin kung ano ang gagawin natin dyan. Diba? Ile-let u ba natin yung ln x lang yung base? Okay. Tingnan natin. Kung gagamit tayo ng integration by parts, dito kinukuha natin pati yung exponent. Diba? Sa integration by algebraic substitution, take note it's just the base that we let equal to u kapag ganitong form, no? Or kung sa trigo naman, it's just the angle. Kung sa exponential functions naman, it's just the exponent part. Ito, pinapakyaw mo, no? Kasi hindi pwedeng ito yung u, tapos ito yung dv. Kamusta naman yun, di ba? So, ang u is this one. Yan. Ay, let's clean that up. Okay. So, lalabas, ito yung ile-let u. Kung ito yung ile-let u mo, ito yung iyong dv. Para integral of u dv by parts. That's the integration by parts. You're considering all the parts. So, nag-chain rule tayo. Baba si exponent. Copy yung base raised to the 1. And then, derivative ng ln x, 1 over x. Okay? Ngayon, dito naman sa kabila, dv is just dx. Siyempre, ang v natin will just be equal to x. Okay tayo doon So, if we are to integrate using by parts, yan, uv is this product. So, that will be x ln x squared minus the product of this. Ayan, ang galing, no? Kasi magka-cancel lang yung x tsaka yung x dito sa denominator nito. Okay? So, that would mean meron kang minus 2 ln x dx. Pwede nating ilabas yung 2 sa integral. So, labas yun. Minus 2 integral of ln of x dx. Familiar sa atin itong integral of ln x kasi di ba yun yung pinatake note kong formula sa inyo dun sa ating previous example. So, di ba na-integrate na natin to before? Okay? Kasi otherwise, mag-a-apply tayo ng by parts ulit, di ba? Kung naalala nyo, di ba, fast forwarding, na-integrate na natin yan. Ayan ang naging sagot. Di ba? Tapos, i-apply na lang natin siya doon. Okay? So, that means our answer is, ayan, x ln x quantity squared minus, we're copying this portion, ano? Okay. Minus 2x ln x plus 2x and of course, we don't forget the plus c. Ayun. So, yun yung kagandahan kung tinandaan na natin tong formula na to kasi otherwise, di ba kasi na-encounter na naman natin siya dito. Yan. Otherwise, mag-i-integration by parts ka ulit. But it's possible, no? Kasi kung halimbawa hindi ka mahilig mag-memorize and you'd rather do the integration again, why not naman? Pwedeng-pwede naman. You still arrive at this answer and just plug it in here. Okay? So, ayun po. Now, let's go to our example 8. This time, we're given with the integral of e to the x sine x dx. Okay? Ayan na naman yung ating template. Ayan. Consider that your template or your given pattern. Okay? So, ang lalabas, ano yung ating u kaya dyan sa liate? It's the, yan, balikan natin. It's the e to the x. Okay? So, ang ating derivative is just the same thing, e to the x. Pero dun sa kabila, if this is our u, kasi ito yung ating u, and the rest of the parts becomes our dv. Kaya integral of u dv. So dv is sine x dx. That is integrable. Integral of that is negative cosine x. Okay? Ayun. So we have uv. That will be negative. Okay? So negative e to the x cos x minus integral of b du. So that will become this one. Magiging positive na siya, no? So magiging plus integral of e to the x cosine x dx. Okay? Now, we don't have a formula combining these two. Yan. Kasi kung ile-let u mo to, diba, hindi mo naman makakancel to. So, that means we need to apply IBP again. Again, what's IBP? Hindi increasing blood pressure, ha? It's integration by parts. Okay? So, ayun po. Paano yan, no? So, pending muna tayo sa ating waiting to. Si ating first term, parang yung kanina kay ln x squared, waiting siya. So, we still have to integrate this. Ayan. By parts. By parts. So, ibig sabihin sa liate, eto na naman yung priority mo. Liate. Diba? Actually, parang priority mo, pas priority mo pa nga is the ano yung sa trigo. Pero let's see, no? Mamaya may alternative tayo. So if this is our u, this becomes our dv. Okay? So ang ating dv ay, derivative muna natin is e to the x. So dv is cos x dx. And the integral of that is just sine x. So sa IBP, ayan na naman yung formula. Product of this, that's e to the x sine x minus integral of that. Okay? Ayan. Okay. Tapos, ano nang next na gagawin? Take note that this is the same as the original integral. Diba? Parang hala, parehas lang ng original integral natin. So, tingnan natin. Diba yung example 8 actually? Okay? So, tingnan na po natin. Ito yung ating kinalabasan na example 8. Ito yung ating e to the x cosine x. Ito siya. Okay? Tapos, ito yung lumabas na ating answer sa integral ng e to the x cosine x. Medyo nabitin tayo kasi bumalik tayo sa original. Magre-record na naman. Cycle, di ba? Paikot-ikot lang. So, ipa-plug in natin sila ngayon. Okay? So, that means i-substitute natin siya. Ito, this whole thing. Kasi yun yung ating, di ba? Yun yung integral ng e to the x cosine x. That whole thing. This one that I underlined with green. Okay? So, I will be substituting it to the integral of e to the x cos x. Okay? Ayan. Pero, remember this whole thing, including the negative e to the x cos x, this whole thing is equal to this integral. Okay? So, ko-connect natin sila. The left side is integral of e to the x sine x dx. Ito siya. And that is equal to this three-term expression. No? So, ayun yung negative e to the x cosine x. This is e to the x sine x. This one, yung last one is minus e to the x, integral of e to the x sine x. Pareho sila, no? Okay. So, ibig sabihin, para kang mag-a-algebra tayo ngayon. Okay. Diba? Kasi nag-recur yung ating integral. we can actually move it to the other side. They won't cancel out kasi magkaiba yung sign niya. If this happen to be plus, magka-cancel. Ibig sabihin mali yung ginawa mo. Mali yung choices mo ng U and DV. Okay? So, i-move natin siya sa kabila. Parang kunwari, this expression is just equal to, kunwari, this is equal to y. Tapos ito, lipat mo sa kabila, magiging plus na siya. Y plus y is 2y, di ba? So, meron ka ng dalawang ganon. Okay? So, you have 2 of that integral. Tapos, ito yung natira. Okay? Just these two terms. So, we just have to divide both sides by 2 to get the expression for our desired integral. So, our integral of e to the sine x dx is equal to the fraction negative e to the x cos x plus e to the x sine x all over 2. Don't forget, we still have a plus c. Okay, and that becomes our final answer to this example 8. Okay. Yan. So, take note na parang a matter of consistency, no? Dito, ang inuna mo is, ang u mo is e to the x, dapat dun sa, nag-recur na, dun sa inner integral na kailangan ng integration by parts ulit, yung u mo is consistently the e to the x pa din. Okay? Ayan. So, can take note of this slide for your reference. We have another solution. Kasi baka sabihin ba, teka nga, di ba sa liit, mas priority natin yung trigo na maging u kesa exponential. So, why not? Sige. Yan. So, priority natin si sine x over the e to the x. So, derivative nga ng sine x, cosine x. So, that means kung ito yung pinili mong u, sana all pinipili, ano? This becomes our dv. The rest of the parts becomes our dv. So this will be bundled with that one. Sila yung dv natin, the box part. Okay? So si e to the x dx. At syempre, mai-integrate natin yan. The integral of that is the same thing, e to the x. So pag nag-IBP tayo, yung uv is this product. That will be e to the x sine x tapos minus integral of e to the x cos x. Parehas lang, di ba? Yung din yung e to the x cos x. Ayan. So, ayun na naman, no? Si e to the x cosine x. So, we need to apply IBP again. Okay? So, ayun na naman siya. But take note, we have to be consistent. So, kanina, si trigo yung ginawa mong u. Ngayon, dapat si trigo ulit. Kasi otherwise, magka-cancel yung integral mo. Mawawala. That means wrong choice. Pagka ganun nagka-cancel yung integral, nawalan ka ng answer, wala tayong integral does not exist, eh, no? Ano tayo, mangyayari, that is a sign that you had a wrong choice of u. Yun. Masama yung wrong choices, eh, no? So, si cosine x, consistent tayo ngayon na trigo function yung ating u. Kanina, consistent tayo na si e yung ating u. Yan. So, derivative negative sine x. Yan. So, kung ito yung pinili, ayan, na u natin, the rest of the parts becomes the dv. Ito, together with that, ibabundle. So, integral is e to the x. Okay, so uv thing is this, minus integral of v du. So, ayun po, minus that. Okay. Again, minus negative, diba? Nag-record na naman yung integral natin. Magiging plus. Okay. Magiging plus na siya. So, that's e to the x cosine x plus e to the x sine x. Remember, that is exactly the same as our example 8. Diba? So, nag-recur na naman. This is a case of recurring integral. Okay? So, balikan natin. Ito yung naging solution. Tapos, ito yung sumunod na slide. Ayan. Ipa-plug in natin ito. Since that is the integral of e to the x cosine x, to substitute it here. Okay? Yan. Kaya lang it's preceded by the minus sign. Okay? So this will become negative. This will likewise become negative. Okay? Ayan. So plug in natin. Ayan. Magiging minus silang dalawa. Remember, naka-quantity sila. No? Quantity. So, ayun. Meron tayong e to the sin x, e to the x sin x, nabubulol na. Tapos, minus e to the x cosine x minus integral of e to the x sin x. Okay, so lipat na naman siya. So, same thing. Yan, magiging dalawa na yung integral of e to the x sin x dx natin. Tapos, ito yung first term, ito yung second term. Ito siya. Now, we just have to divide both sides by this coefficient. Divide by 2 kasi ito yung gusto nating ma-obtain sa example 8. Okay? So, dividing both sides by 2, this is our final answer plus of course our C. Ayan. So, same lang yung ating naging answer pero different solution. Okay? Yun. Okay. So, that's it for example 8. Now, let's have our time for questions. Beginning with question 1. What is cosine of square root of x? Okay, fast forwarding our timer. Ayan. Kung gusto nyo, guided tayo nito. Tapos, i-pause nyo ulit yung timer. Tapos, mag-try po ulit. Pwede naman. Okay. So, tingnan natin ang magiging solution. Let's check your answers. Square root of x, tapos sa baba is 1 over 2 square root of x. Diba? Yung ating shortcut for the derivative of square root of x. Tapos, parang teka lang, kung yun yung ating u, paano yun? Diba sabi, diba kung ito yung u, alangan bang meron kang, ito yung dv mo, cosine dx, parang hindi yata pwede yun, no? So, kailangan maging creative tayo, no, sa ating ginagawa. So, that means it's wrong. Kasi, alam bang ito yung dv mo. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, kung ganito yung ginagawa nyo, that means nasa maling solution kayo. Okay? So, we need to apply algebraic substitution first. Okay? So, yun pa rin yung ating gagawin. No? Ang u is square root of x. Okay? Tapos, ang du is 1 over 2 square root of x dx. Tapos, di ba, moving this to the other side, that is 2 square root of x du equal to dx. Meron kang extra variable doon. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan ma-produce mo siya dito. Kailangan mag-come up ka with the creative way of presenting your integral. Okay? So, ito, kailangan mong maging gawing i-convert sa u. O, di ba, yung square root of x is your u. Di ba? So, gagawin mo siyang 2u du. Okay, astig, ano? Yun. Eh di wala ka ng problema sa mga x's. Diba? Mahirap yung may problema sa x. So, u dv du v. Kung square root of x to, tapos ay yun yung 1 over 2 square root of x. Mali yan, sabi natin. Mag-a-apply tayong algebraic substitution. Makulit, pero ayan po yung lumabas. Ito ngayon yung naging result, no? So, meron kang integral of u to u. Bakit ganon? Again, diba kasi cosine of u siya, tapos dx is 2u du. Okay? So, cosine of u, tapos, ayan. Paano naging? Paano naging? Ano nangyari? Naging u du na lang. Nasaan yung cosine? Nawala yung cosine natin. Ayun. Nawala lang siya dito. So, it should have been cosine of u. Diba kasi it's coming from, gawin natin. Sorry for that. Diba kasi this part is cosine of square root of x, that is u. This is cosine of u. Tapos this dx part, ito yun sa baba, that is 2u du. Ayan, so cosine u is one factor, 2u is another, and of course you have your differential factor. So dapat integral of 2u cosine u du. Nawala lang yung cosine. Sorry for that. No? Dapat cosine u, 2u du. Okay? So, ayun po. Please refer to this integral. We can write the 2 outside. No? So, magiging u cosine u du na lang. Okay? So, ganito po yun. Yan. Nilagyan natin ng u hat para lang ma-distinguish natin siya. Ayan. Okay, so ang ating magiging UIC, kasi U din yung nasa variable natin, eh, no? So kaya ginawa nating U hat. Okay? So this is 2U. Tapos kung ito yung nagbabay parts tayo, kung ito yung U hat, tapos ito yung DV. Yan, para lang ma-distinguish natin yung U from the U hat kasi pareho sila ng variable kasi hindi naman pwedeng let u be equal to 2u. Otherwise, 1 equals 2. Diba? So, dv is cosine u du. Okay, so integrating the other side, no? Integral ng cosine is sine. Positive yun, no? Integral ng cosine is positive sine. Ayan, so ito, madali lang, no? Dinifferentiate. So, this product is 2u sine u tapos minus integral of this product. Ito. That will be 2 sine u. Nilabas yung 2. So, minus 2 integral of sine u du. Ma-integrate na natin si sine u. That is cosine u. So, minus 2. Negative cosine. Negative cosine nga pala pag integral ng sine. No? So, negative cosine u plus c. So, magiging positive na. Magiging plus 2 cosine u plus c. Pero ano nga yung u natin? That will be square root of x. So, 2 square root of x sine square root of x plus 2 cosine square root of x plus c. Ayun. And that becomes our final answer. Okay. So, pwede pala, no? Kanina, nag-integration by parts, tapos integration by parts sa loob. Tapos, integration by parts, tapos may algebraic substitution sa loob. Ito naman, kinailangan nating mag-algebraic substitution muna bago mag-apply ng integration by parts. Okay, that's it for our question number 1. Number 2, question number 2. Okay, fast forwarding our timer. Ito po ang ating inverse trigonometric function. So, siya yung priority natin na i-let u. Of course, it's not just the x, kundi itong buo na to para integral of u dv. So, our u is arctan of x. Yan. Derivative of that is 1 over 1 plus x squared. So, ang dv natin is dx. Ang v natin is just x. Okay. So, ang ating integration by parts, that will be integral of u dv. This is the original integral. It's equal to uv minus integral of v du. Makulit pero kailangan po para ma-reinforce. Ano? So, uv is x, arctan x, minus this part. No? So, minus integral of x over 1 plus x squared dx. Yan. This time, para ma-integrate natin to, gagamit tayo ng algebraic substitution. Okay, so, kuha ko ng pen na ibang color. Let's use sa maroon. Yan, we let u. Safe na pong gamitin yung u kasi okay na tayo, tapos na tayo dito. So, dito na tayo nakafocus na, dito sa dalawang to na. Okay, so we let u be equal to the denominator 1 plus x squared. Derivative is 2x dx. So, the x dx, ayun siya. Yan. X dx dividing by 2, du over 2, yun yung x dx natin. So, 1/2 du lang pala, no? So, copy-paste natin si x arctan x minus, so, yung ating integral ay magiging 1/2, nilabas na natin si 1/2, integral of 1 over u, si 1 plus x squared or u to the negative 1 That's 1 plus x squared raised to negative 1. Tapos the x dx, yun yung du. Yung over 2, nilabas na natin. Okay? So this integral is ln of u. So that will be x arctan x minus 1 half ln of u. Pero ang u natin is 1 plus x squared. No need for the absolute value. And we're assured the positivity of this plus c. So this is our final answer to the integral of arctan of x. Okay, that's it. So I hope you got the correct answers for the two numbers. So to end, learning to think a problem through can be hard work, and that is exactly what makes it fun. So have a good day. God bless you. And stay safe, everyone.